Crisp, buttery chocolate chip cookies are Kathleen King's specialty.
I never had a job like outside of making cookies.
From her kitchen window, 11-year-old Kathleen King waited for customers to drive up to her dad's farm stand on Long Island's East End.
I used to make like these big like saucer type chocolate chip cookies that were soft and thin though, always thin. It was oversized because it wasn't done then.
Her father, Richard King, thought it was time Kathleen started paying for her own clothes.
I used to work 10, 11 hours a day as a kid in the summertime by myself.
She was selling more cookies than we were selling eggs for a while there. So that's kind of, I scratched my head. I said, something wrong here.
I remember my first big sale when a customer came and ordered 10 packages, and I was like, oh my God. And my father was like, can you handle that? I was one of those people that always was like, just tell me what you want and I can do it, I can do it.
Kathleen been doing it ever since. She was only 20 when she opened her own shop in 1980. 3 years later, Kathleen bought a bake shop nearby. To help pay the mortgage, she started selling at some of New York City's higher-end shops.
I walked into Balducci's with a little shopping bag and I said, hi, you want to buy my cookies? And they were like, oh, let me see. And they looked at them and they were like, yeah, bring me 100 bags next week. And I'd go back into the van and I'd be like, yes!
Kathleen's grew into a 24-hour-a-day operation. She says sales eventually hit $400,000. There was even a cookbook. After 18 years and too many grueling 18-hour days, Kathleen looked to slow down. She sold equal shares of the business to an employee and his brother in 1998. But King says they couldn't agree on expansion plans.
I'm still doing really challenging hours. And I made an unfortunate decision and ended up losing everything because each person had a third, which means that I'm out. I agreed, and I used to say...
At one point, she was even barred from the bakery she owned. In early 2000, locals briefly picketed, hoping to drive away the new owners. But the business she nurtured was gone forever.
It was a very disturbing, challenging time. Kathleen's Bake Shop really was my baby, and everything in it was much more personal and much more emotional than it is with Tate's Bake Shop, which is positive because it helps make better decisions when you're not emotionally attached.
After some legal wrangling, Kathleen got her building back and reopened as Tate's Bake Shop in August of 2000. But she was starting from scratch again.
All the money I had was spent on legal fees to try to restore things. I was $200,000 in debt and had no money at all.
Why Tate's? It's named after her father, who got the nickname as a little boy, working the potato fields of the Hamptons.
My friend said, you're a little tater.
Kathleen hired a business manager this time around. In 2004, she upgraded to a 5,000 square foot space, and in 2007, they moved again.
This is where all the cookies are made that we ship out all over the country.
After converting a school almost 6 times bigger.
There we have the mixers, and when you come over here, all the cookies are being panned out.
Tate's makes all kinds of treats and all kinds of cookies, even wheat-free, gluten-free, and white chocolate macadamia nuts. But the bread and butter at Tate's, emphasis on the butter, is the chocolate chip. King says that's more than half her business.
I always say we make our living on chocolate chip cookies. We do 10 million in sales right now. We're making about 1 million cookies a week.
In 2011, with a new system, Tate's may turn out 16,000 cookies an hour.
We're growing about 30% a year right now. It's an affordable luxury. I'm in the happy business, and when people buy something or eat something and they have joy, it's just that's it for me.